Today is Ash Wednesday. It is the day that most Catholics are very eager not to wash their faces and instead wear a black cross on their foreheads. At first glance, this practice seems directly contradictory to the Gospel reading we have at Mass today. In the 6th chapter of Matthew, Jesus tells his disciples directly, "Take care not to perform righteous deeds in order that people may see them. Otherwise, you'll have no recompense from your heavenly Father. Don't give money to charity and make a commercial saying you gave money to charity. Don't stand out in front of everyone and pray loudly so they'll see how holy you are. And finally, don't dress in drab and decide not to shower or brush your hair while you're fasting so they'll see how much you're suffering." Very visual things. So at first glance, this little cross seems like a loud contradiction. The truth is that there are not many things that will get us to change our minds. And changing our hearts is even harder. In fact, I will come out and say that I don't even understand my own heart a lot of the time, and I suspect you don't either. So boasting about my charity, Bible thumping, and dressing to reflect my mood are not going to make much of a difference when it comes to change. In fact, these actions will probably just reinforce the same old thoughts and the same old behaviors that I have. So, what can convince us to change? I think there are two things strong enough that are represented in the ashes we wear on our foreheads: death and love. Remember that you are dust, and to dust you shall return. That's one of the options that we can hear when someone places ashes on our foreheads. Yes, we are mortal. Our technology is doing everything it can to hide and change that fact, but we are bound to die. And even as I say this, I know how little impact it has on my own life and on yours. We have learned really, really well how to keep the secret. But anyone who has faced death and lived to tell about it can tell you how convincing it is to change your life. So we wear ashes. We wear ashes with the hope that maybe having this black smudge on our forehead might remind us when we look in the mirror that we are mortal and bound to die. The second powerful motivator is love. That is why we wear ashes in the shape of a cross. That cross reminds us that even Jesus, even our God, suffered death on a cross, specifically to say to us that he's been there. He's faced that one certainty. And Jesus faced death and didn't have anything about him to change. So he changed death. He rose from death at the resurrection. And he gives that gift to us. Our church loves sacraments because they bring the grace of God in a real and physical way into our presence. The imposition of ashes follows the same formula. It is a physical reminder that death is real and that death is transformed. And for both reasons, we should be transformed. Our hearts and our minds want this change. Our hearts and our minds want a home that gives rest. That is what God provides if we want to take the time to be still and know him. Let's take time this Ash Wednesday to reflect in a mirror on these ashes and to remember that we are mortal and we are loved, and that God embraces both of these things in Jesus. Blessed be God forever.